Hello, everyone. The gag, the reveal. This is part 2 of the gorgeous Valentine series on our poddy. Miss Linda Ray did say it would be a surprise, and it's your favourite homosexual and his older sister today. How exciting. So yes, I'm your lovely guest host, Pavanveer Sagoo, actor, just graduated last year from Leeds Conservatoire, and it's been great. It's been so good. Just wrapped a Christmas show, just wrapped a rehearsed reading in Manchester, and currently just on the waiting trail, babes, waiting to hear back from auditions, that and the other, but I'm so excited. I'm very grateful to be hosting this today, and I'm joined with the beautiful Isaac Malibu.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine,
oh
yeah.
my God.
I just finished a work day, so I'm kind of tired. It was a regular day at the Conservatoire.
Okie dokes.
You know what they're like.
We do.
You were there. But yeah, no, it's been a good day. And then we've had coffee, and I've had more coffee, so I'm buzzing.
Energized.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to be on this podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out Linda Ray.
Shout out to Linda Ray. So it's Valentine's next week. How are you feeling?
Fine. I'll be in work, so like I'm just, dating, whatever. I mean, I'm not dating anyone.
Have you ever done something for Valentine's yourself in the past?
So, way back when, 2006, I had a Valentine's.
What, 2006?
Yeah, you know when like everyone just had to pick a Valentine's in primary school?
No.
Okay, well I had a Valentine's called she was called Cameron. That's right. It wasn't queer at the beginning, she was a girl. And so she was my Valentine in year 5. And then I have one ex that I celebrated 2 Valentines with.
Okay, cute.
And I made fajitas, and he bought me a bunch of presents. And then the one after,
cute.
I don't think we did anything because we'd gone to York like a few weeks before.
Oh, York's cute.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you think there's pressure?
To do stuff for Valentine's Day, you know what? I feel like for queer people, less so. I feel, this is just my personal opinion, but I feel like it's not as like, I think once you start to break away from anything that's like traditional or conventional, you don't really adhere to those rules as much. I know for like some of the straight people that I know, there's a bit more pressure to be like,
That's what I think. I feel like Valentine's Day, I can't lie, it feels like a straight holiday. Like, it very much so does. Do you know what I mean?
I get what you mean. No, I get what you mean.
I mean, it's obviously nice when you see a queer couple celebrating Valentine's Day. But the majority of it, I feel like it is your, like, cis-het people sort of gatekeeping it.
A little bit.
Which is fine. Like, it's a nice day for you to slay, I guess.
We have Pride Month, so it's okay.
We do have Pride
And it's
Month.
LGBTQ plus history.
Oh my God, it is.
So
happy that for you.
Happy that's the only thing I'm going to be celebrating, because I don't have any Valentine's plans coming up. But we don't know what's going to happen in the next week.
Yeah. Oh my God, we don't.
No.
Who knows? How exciting. So let's talk a little bit about like your dating journey.
Oh my God. Okay. Where do you want to start?
Wherever, babe. So let's
Should we start in high school?
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, I didn't date anyone in high school. I remember, so I realized I was gay when I was like, I knew I was different from all the other boys when I was like 11, 12.
Love.
And I was just like, because they all used to talk about like girls' bodies and stuff like that, and
I'm not connecting to this.
I was just interested in what they were wearing. Like,
I would love the fashion.
I was interested in the fashion.
Oh my God! I mean, it's like house.
So and then when I was 14, I was just like, oh, for God's sake, I'm gay. Like, I just kind of knew.
So you're late. Man.
Yeah, pretty late. I was like,
yeah.
Okay. And then I remember I had a crush on one of my friends in high school for so long, and I told him.
How was that?
He was really nice about it, actually. He was just like, well, I'm not gay, but we can still be really good friends. And I was just like, thanks. So it was just like slowly eating me away inside, but it's fine. But I didn't date in high school. And actually, that's a really sort of like prominent thing for a lot of queer people is we'd start a little bit later in terms of dating.
Fine.
And like everything to do with that. So I just felt like I'd kind of like, I thought at the time, I felt like I was missing out. I just wanted to feel included and like,
well, like, it's really interesting that you've just picked up on the fact that, like, a lot of queer people tend to settle down later in life. I mean, when we were on the way here, we were talking about Heartstopper, right?
Yeah.
The series on Netflix. I think there's a lot... It's very divisive that, like, a lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it. I feel like the majority of people that dislike it tend to be from the queer community.
Yeah. Just
because I know for a fact, I personally like Heartstopper, but it didn't reflect my queer experience.
No, yeah.
It's like in what idyllic world are 2 lads in high school falling in love and everyone's okay with it. I mean, obviously in the series they're not, but like, it's quite kumbaya, and it's like, that wasn't my reality.
Yeah,
so,
and
like,
that wasn't my reality either, because everyone was, like, no one was even really... As far as I'm aware, even now when I think about my year group, there are very, very few queer people, and especially gay men, that was maybe, like... As far as I'm the only one that I'm aware. Like, really? I know. But maybe there's more now, I don't know.
Interesting.
So yeah, you're right about Heartstopper. I think high school, it's really weird. High school is so strange because all of my friends were like having crushes on each other and going out with each other, and people had crushes on me, and I was like, girl, I'm gay. Like you
this is it.
Yeah. So it was just like, I think everyone just wanted, if everyone was doing what they felt like they should do. Obviously, some people do get together in high school and stay together. I've got some friends who got married last year. They'd been together since they were 15. It was so sweet and so cute. But it worked for them, and I think for queer people, we just start everything a little bit later. So I didn't even really have any like dating experiences until I was in university.
Fine. And I'm pretty much the same as well.
So like, because I came out when I was at the beginning of my second year, and I think I had a thing where I didn't want to do anything prior to that. Yeah, so the whole coming out thing like had to happen, and I had to like become comfortable with that.
Again, that's a thing. Part of the queer experience, like your coming out has to be an event.
Yeah,
and like I don't necessarily know if I like that.
No, I didn't like it being an event, but I knew I had to be because there was people in my family who were either in denial about me being gay or just didn't know or wouldn't support it. So I had to get it out there, just so it was there. Fine. And then, I don't know, I felt really free when I said it because then I was able to start crushing on people.
Yeah, no, that's always nice.
So yeah.
When you can publicly, like, say, oh my goodness, this is the boy that I'm attracted to. Like, how gratifying
Yeah,
is
it was actually so fun. And me and my best friend would sit and talk about boys.
Right? Yeah. It's kind of like what we do, to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
that is what we do.
Like, honestly, and it's, I don't know, like, I feel like whenever we talk about the kind of men that we're attracted to and stuff, I think for me personally, it's an aspect of my child self that I'm really healing. That, like, when I was growing up, there was a lot of shame related to that. But, like, now, like, I openly will talk about how beautiful some men are, right? And I just think it's very gratifying.
Yeah, it's really liberating to be able to talk about like people that you're attracted to and be able to talk about boys. And I think that period between when I came out, between like 19 and 20, second year of uni, I just felt like I needed that year to kind of just be happy and be comfortable with it and just be like, yeah, I'm gay, cool. And I just really wanted to enjoy that period of time. So yeah, like I said, I didn't even date anyone that year. So I came out. Honestly, when I came out, I thought it was gonna be like a fun little parade, and I thought everyone was gonna be like, oh my gosh, like party, but
celebrate.
But no one really made that much of a fuss about it. Yeah. Give or take a few people, but like it was fine. But yeah, my first date wasn't until I was 20. It was like that? It was lovely. So it was my first date was with my first ex. We were together for a year and a half.
Love.
And yeah, I'd never been on a date before that.
And how old were you, sorry?
I was 20. I'd turned 20 like 6 months beforehand. So yeah, it was January 5th, 2018.
Oh my god, love the date.
Yeah.
Obsessed.
And we went to the cinema.
Cute.
Strange first date.
What were you
watching?
Cinema.
Oh my god, we watched Jumanji.
Oh my god, that's so random.
No, yeah, it was
that's
just
not very clear of you.
No, it really wasn't clear. It was just on, and listen, we were in Huddersfield, like it's a different time, it's a different world. But yeah, no. So we watched Jumanji, and then I thought, well, if we really get on, like we'll want to go for food afterwards, and then we did. Right. So that was nice.
Nice.
And then then that opened up an entirely new can of worms. Nice. In terms of like dating and just like different experiences, and it was really fun. Like I enjoyed having a boyfriend.
Yeah, fine.
And it was before all the rubbish and stuff that comes with dating. Like it was so straightforward. It was like we dated, and then we were official, and then we were together, and then we broke up.
And I think I prefer that. I think I prefer clarity, like straight to the point. I mean, I've spoken to you about this before, but like I hate the talking stage.
Yeah,
I hate it so much. Like. I'm always in the camp of like, let's beat around the bush. Like we both absolutely have, we like each other. So like, let's go on a date, right? And I think there's a lot of pressure that I don't know where it comes from, that like you have to start seeing each other after like a couple weeks of chatting and stuff. Where it's like who cares? Like who cares if it's like a couple days or like whatever? If you feel some kind of connection.
Exactly, yeah. Well, I don't like to waste time now. If I'm dating someone, in terms of like going on that first date, like let's just go on it and see what like happens. Because people can miscommunicate over text all the time. No, all of the arguments that me and my first boyfriend had, we would start via text because someone miscommunicated. Yeah. There was never actually any problem in person. So I always just think about that, and then like I just that relationship was so interesting all the way it started because everything was just so simple and straightforward. And I think it's because I was younger. I think when I was younger, it was just more straight to the point. I didn't have the baggage of having to carry now other crappy relationships I've been through or other weird situations, because now it's a lot more tentative. I also just think, and this isn't even specific for queer people, I also just think everyone has a lot more options because of all the apps and like all the accessibility. Massively. And like I think dating apps have created this thing where like you'll settle with something until you can find the next best thing. And I don't think anyone really, or I think less people are feeling like they want to be committed. And as I've gotten older, I'm just like, I don't have time for any of this. Like, I'm busy trying to, like, sort my life, do music, travel, like, enjoy myself.
Absolutely.
And sometimes dating can feel like a bit of a chore now.
This is what I was about to say, because, like, my two best friends from back home, they both have boyfriends, right? And it just seems, as me being the single one in the group, like, it absolutely just seems like this is a chore. Like, and you have to dedicate so much of your life now with this person. And it's like, now I'm so independent that I feel like my one concern is that, like, I'm almost too content being single. But, like, if a guy was to come in now, I think it would just disrupt me so much.
Yeah, and I agree with you there, and I think that's what I was talking to my sister about the other week. But then I was like, there'll probably be someone worth that disruption. I think that's what I try and, like,
No, that's nice.
I'm lucky, really romantic.
I love it though.
Like,
it's because you're an air sign.
True, but, like, I just, like, I think the best situation, like, always has potential to happen. So I'm like,
never say never.
Yeah, I've always been open, because I've not really dated anyone for a significant amount of time since 2021. Like, the end of 2021 was the last time I was dating someone for a while.
Do you want to get back to it, dating?
I mean, I would love to, but now it just feels like, so queer people, or specifically gay men, it's very, very, like, sex driven now. Like, it's all very, very based on, like, attraction, and it's become it's become so commonplace to, like, hook up with someone first and then decide if you like them, which fine, like, I really don't have a problem with that, but I do think, again, it's kind of, like, created this whole, like, throwaway thing where, like, you just kind of meet people, hook up with them, and then if you're not really vibing, you're like, cool. I don't know, it's just, like, and there's so many, and again, the problem with the apps is it's all very superficial, because you're just looking at people's faces. It's just, it's changed so much, or it's just not what was presented to us when we were younger and we were watching the films. Like, I don't meet random cute guys in bookshops. I would love to. I love going to bookshops.
But we love bookshops?
Yeah, but I feel like
cute.
I feel like maybe I'm just not looking mysterious enough. Maybe just people don't want to see me in there, but I don't know. And and when I talk to my parents about it, they're like, I could not date in your era, and I'm like, well,
it's hard.
I'm glad that you lot are already married, because I think you struggle too.
yeah, no, majorly. I think also, I never really talk to my parents much about dating. I think aspects, because I know my mum for a fact, she's very much so, like, you keep to yourself, I don't really want to know much. But I'm like, that's fair, her, and absolutely. But, like, at the same time, like, our experience is so different. Like, my parents had an arranged marriage, for crying out loud. Like, that's so different to my current reality that, like, even now, as a gay man sort of navigating the dating space, I think there's a lot of pressure in terms of, like Grindr, in terms of it becoming a place of hookup culture, because that's, if that's your prerogative, that's fine, but that's not personally for me. That, like, I'd rather develop a nice connection with a lad and then pursue that further, and then never say never. Like, we don't know what's going to happen, but, like, I don't know if I could do a one-night stand or anything like that. Maybe I could in the future. Who knows? Who knows?
I know, because to be fair, when I was 20, I'd be like, oh yeah, I could never do a one-night stand, and then how the times have changed. Like, I've participated in hookup culture because I can, and I think in probably a fairly healthy way. Like, I've not used it to, like, deal with any, like, unresolved feelings. I've just done it because I've been attracted to people, and I've been like, cool. And then after a while, part of me is just kind of like, am I just doing this just because it's the only thing to do? It's been so long. My last date was last May, so it's been like 7 or 8 months since I've been on, like, an actual date. And yeah, I just think that, I mean, I would love to, but it just doesn't feel like the opportunity presents itself that much. I mean, without going too deep, obviously there's other factors in there, like the fetishization of, like, Black and South Asians and different races and stuff like that. And there's loads of problems in that regard. People will want to sleep with you. They might not want to date you. They might feel a certain way about bringing you back to their family. Those problems still exist, and they feel like they're more prevalent within the gay community than I think people think.
They really
I think they think it's super inclusive, and it's actually really not.
This is my thing. Like, sometimes I actually get quite afraid of queer spaces, that I'm concerned that I think the media portrays the queer community to be like this beautiful place, but the gatekeepers are these skinny white twinks, which we were quite literally discussing earlier. And it's like, that's not the scene that I like at all, because that's a scene of toxicity. And, like, our experiences are going to be so different, right? If you're gatekeeping this community, I can't have a connection with you. I really can't, because my experience is so different to you. It's just very frustrating.
When I think about gay spaces now, the ones that I feel the most comfortable in are the ones where there's diversity. So it's not just gay men, specifically gay white men, but it's also other queer people of colour,
trans people, non-binary people,
the places that are more like, it's why I prefer East London to Clapham. You know what I mean? Because Clapham is very one type of gay, and East London is very like, ooh, you know, lots of different types. Specifically Shoreditch, Hackney, love. But like, I just think that I just think being in diverse spaces and just being open to people. I think, oh my God, that's the other thing. That is probably the most pressurizing thing. Is like, you must have a type. Everyone must have a type. And then everyone gets pigeonholed. And gay people, for a community that was kind of like, you know, you don't need to label us in anything, but then created a bunch of labels for themselves. Like, gay men have labelled themselves a whole friggin' zoo. Like, at this point, like, it's just it's fine. And people want to feel part of something. I get it. We've all come from I think most gay people or queer people have come from some kind of adversity. So to feel like they belong somewhere is good. It's good. But I'm a bit tired of all the labels and people being in their cliques and
also, like, I just think it's quite hard sometimes being a gay man. And I understand me saying that. It has a lot of weight to it, because I know in terms of like, if we're going on like the social pecking order in the queer community, gay men are at the top in terms of how most privileged you are, right? But like, I just think it's very hard to exist in spaces, especially with like straight women, for example. Like, I know for a fact that like this is something we always laugh about. Like, why can't two gay men just be really close mates? Right, the amount of people that we've had, like, oh my God, are you two dating?
I know.
Like, are you two? Oh my God, like, Pav, you and Isaac together? I'm like, no.
And I have to reaffirm every time that we're like sisters.
We literally, it's a sisterhood.
Properly, but not that you're not stunning, because you are.
Yeah, and you, girl.
But like, no. Also, I feel like we would not function well in a relationship either.
We would bicker 24/7. We'd get on each other's nerves. Like, we'd argue. It wouldn't be good.
It wouldn't be good. And that's another thing as well. And that's another thing that's very pressurizing about gay dating is like, when you meet someone, you're trying to like scope out like, are we going to be like together? Are we going to sleep together? Are we going to be like best friends? Or are we going to be enemies? There's like those 4 options that you somehow have to explore. And it's like, why can't we just be friends, and that's cool as well? Like, there's always this thought of like, oh, is this someone that I could date?
Yeah, no,
but I don't know.
It's really, really difficult. So like, as we're coming towards the end of our little session, so like, how do you control the pressures of queer dating today?
Do you know what? I focus on myself. I do things that I like. I do things for myself. I think one of the things that I've thought about going into a relationship in the future is like, I want to meet someone now who has stories to tell. Someone who's done stuff. That. Like, when I meet someone, I'm able to tell them about all my travels, all the things I've done.
Personable.
Yeah, and I can tell them about my gigs, and just someone who has a bit of something as a bit of life experience now, and is just able to have their own separate life. I love the like 2 independent people coming together to share an aspect of their life, but then still hold on to the things that they did prior to that relationship. Sure. Because I think, like I said, getting older is like, your priorities kind of change. And you know, I always said that a companion would be nice. Kind of sounds like I'm talking about a dog, but I'm not.
No, I understand it though.
I just think a companion would be nice at some point, but I just don't put any pressure on it. I have very, very few expectations. And if I meet someone, I'm just upfront about if I want to date them. Like, if I like you, I'll be like, do you want to hang out? Do you want to go coffee? Do you want to go for a drink?
And I feel like a lot of people are scared of that. They're scared of the truth. They're scared of, like, commitment.
Yeah, and also people are scared of rejection. They're scared of going on a date and then not being liked. And I'm like, it's fine. So yeah, no pressure. But I will say it's not as difficult for me. I don't find dating very difficult. And just choose when I want to go on dates, and, like, it's fine. But, like, my life is lovely.
Gorgeous.
Without that.
Amazing. And I think also for me, like, I think me navigating this early dating space, I think I'm very grateful for you that, like, because I think you very much so feel like my older sister in that regard, that, like, you've been through it. So, like, every time I'm about to date a boy, I'm like, this is him, this is what we're doing, like, is this okay? And you're, like, fact-checking absolutely everything. And it's really nice for me.
Yeah.
And I'm incredibly grateful for that.
That is one thing that is true. I call them my gay elders.
Yeah.
They're just my gay friends that are, like, 5 or 6 or 7 or maybe 10 years older than me. And if I'm going through something, I'm like, they've probably been through it before.
Exactly.
So
it's just very handy. Keep your gays together. Nice gays, please.
Yeah, nice ones.
Yeah. So lovely. Thank you so much, Isaac, for being here today.
You're welcome.
It's been so lovely. And it's also just been so nice, like, just having 2 queer men of colour just sit down and talk about their experiences together.
Of course.
Like, 'cause obviously, like, they're going to be so relatable to each other. And so thank you so much for that. It's been really, really good. So thank you everyone for listening in today. This is part 2 of the Our Poddy Valentine's Day edition. I'm your host, Pavanveer Sagoo, and today we were joined by Isaac Malibu. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Happy Valentine's.